Hallo, guten Tag, Deutschstudentin 1102. Hier ist Dr. Dettinger schon wieder mit einem Video. Diesmal über Verben 10, Adjektiven, Infinitivsätze und Passiv. Welcome back, students. This one, we're going to glance briefly at a table of adjective endings, only because I have a video which is actually from 1101 that shows the adjective endings, particularly with the nominative and the accusative case. And then the rest of this video is going to focus on the infinitive constructions. The passive voice will be a part 2 video. So here's this table here. Let's have a look. This shows all cases, all genders, and what the adjective endings look like with definite articles, indefinite articles, and then unpreceded articles. So the previous video I recommend that you look at for the nominative and the accusative. The dative and the genitive, one good thing for these is that by looking at the preceded with a definite article and preceded with an indefinite article. For instance, let's just look at the masculine dative, dem roten Pulli, einem roten Pulli, and then look at the genitive, des roten Pulli und eines roten Pulli. They're all en across the board for all 4 genders, okay, and in both cases, okay. So for instance, ja, der ich kaufe, ich trage heute blaue Jeans mit dem roten Pulli, for instance. Okay, just to show you an example of that, when we use the unpreceded, zu deutschem Wein essen wir Käse, or zu kaltem Bier essen wir eine Brezel, or zu frischer Milch essen wir Kekse, something like that. Okay, but the rest are always going to be en, so that's a very, very good thing. So let's look at now the infinitive phrases. And with these are going to create our own a unique phrase. Okay, and they're called, I call them the zu infinitive because it's the preposition zu followed by the infinitive verb that goes at the very end. For instance, vergiss nicht dein Referat zu schreiben. Okay, and one common mistake that non-native speakers will do is wanting to integrate that preposition zu for thinking of phrases like I need to write my paper, right? Or I'm going to go to the store. German doesn't always use this. These are unique phrases. For instance, if I were to say I have to write my paper, I would use the modal verb müssen. Ich muss mein Referat schreiben. There is no zu incorporated here because the infinitive on its own means to write, okay? But these are particular phrases, and they're usually started with another phrase. So you can see here, vergiss nicht, don't forget. All right, vergiss nicht dein Referat zu schreiben, and you notice there's a comma that follows that, vergiss nicht. Okay, so look at this table of verbs here. Versuchen, vergessen, versprechen, anfangen, vorhaben, and Zeit haben. A lot of times these 6 here will be used as the starting point to create what's called a zu infinitive phrase. We'll get some examples here. For instance, habt ihr Zeit, mit uns ins Kino zu gehen? Okay, or ich habe versprochen, meine Mutter zum Supermarkt zu bringen. Okay, so I have the English translations there, but these, if you notice both of them, habt ihr Zeit, comma, ich habe versprochen, comma. Okay, both of those require that comma in between to then start the infinitive phrase. Okay, other phrases, for instance, Spaß machen, Lust haben, die Nase voll haben. So let's look at some examples here. Es macht mir Spaß, ins Kino zu gehen. Hast du Lust, ins Kino zu gehen? Or ich habe die Nase voll, immer zu lernen. Okay, so these really aren't complicated. It's just another component, another aspect of the German language to kind of enhance your communication skills. Another very common component with these is not just having zu, but having a phrase zu, okay? And what these do is they create the English equivalent of in order to. For instance, ich fahre früh zur Uni, einen guten Parkplatz zu finden. So you notice here it's still separated by a comma, right? Ich fahre früh zur Uni, comma. And then our is going to start that clause. And we still have zu plus the infinitive verb at the very end. So with whatever else you want to say in this sentence, it has to go in between and zu, but still keeping the infinitive after zu, okay? Let's look at another example here, sorry. Okay, let's say that there's a separable prefix verb involved or a verb-verb combination. Sometimes this happens in German. For instance, using a separable prefix verb aufmachen. Ich brauche einen Korkenzieher, diese Weinflasche aufzumachen. Okay, so if you recall from the present perfect, for instance, aufstehen, to get up, right? Ich bin heute 6 Uhr aufgestanden, right? Or der Zug ist 7 Uhr angekommen, right? So we have that separable prefix plus the g integrated in between, still staying as one word. It's the same concept here. Ich brauche einen Korkenzieher, diese Weinflasche aufzumachen. Good. Or joggen gehen, a verb-verb combination. Hast du Zeit, joggen zu gehen? Okay, joggen gehen. A lot of times gehen, when it's combined, this is a very common verb that's used to combine with other ones. Jagen gehen, to go hunting. Even laufen gehen, to go running. Or Skifahren gehen, to go skiing, as an example. Okay, so joggen gehen. Hast du Zeit, joggen zu gehen? Do you have time to go jogging? Good. And that will conclude this video. Wie immer, wenn Sie Fragen haben, schreiben Sie mir eine E-Mail. Danke und Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Tschüss.